All right, everybody, this is a video on my home network. Isn't she a beauty?
Real quick, I just wanted to give you an overview of this video. We start out at the network rack, then we move to a couple locations where switches are installed, then we cover network documentation, and lastly, cable installation.
I know it's not a lot of pieces right now, but it is a few powerful pieces. So we have here on my home network, this is a rack right next to my desk. Up here on the top, we have our patch panel. So you'll see the first couple ports are connected. You can see that they're all labeled. So R1, gigabit Ethernet 00, that's gonna be connected down here. So I can easily plug whatever device I want, and I'm gonna be connecting into the back of these three devices. So I'm not having to like pull them out and kind of make a mess in order to make things happen, but it's easily accessible. Over here on the right, these are all the devices that I have. So I just have the printer, iMac, the LG laptop, which is my main computer that I have at my desk. That's obviously it's connected hardwire. And then I have the Netgear switch, the IDF, which stands for Intermediate Distribution Frame, and then ISP. So my internet is the black one, and then these other white ones, those are just my hardline devices. Now I do have two switches, so the Netgear switch, which is on the left side of my desk, and then the other one is the IDF, Intermediate Distribution Frame. That's my entertainment center. So there's a Cat 6A cable, and we'll get in the back a little bit here and I'll show you what's under the hood, but that's a Cat 6A cable. So I'm able to have higher capabilities for data speed. There, you'll see that I'm not using ports 10 and 11 on the UDM Pro Max. I'm not up to that level or need yet for my rack, but you'll see that it is coming together. There is one thing that you will see that it is missing. You've probably already spotted it already, and that is not having a UPS. So uninterrupted power supply. I have not purchased one yet. They are a couple $100. I do have in the back, you'll see I have a surge protector, so my devices are protected. But as far as high availability, I'm reliant on the property power. So I have the UDM Pro Max here that we're connected to. So this is obviously the router, the main driver for my network. I do have two bay doors for NVR storage, something that's not necessary. It is very nice to have, however, but obviously that's not something that I need, but it does keep me from having to get the NVR system in that device sooner. So I have two bay doors, so even if I have two 6 terabyte hard drives in there, I should be able to handle 8 cameras relatively well and may not necessarily need an upgrade. The UDM Pro Max, it is a powerhouse, so it's definitely gonna be more than what I'll ever need. But I ended up purchasing it. It just came out. I'm like, well, let's just get the new one, get hands-on with it, and let's use it and see what it's all about. So that's the UDM Pro Max, and that's my network in the front. As we go to the back, first off, you're gonna see all the blue cables. This is for labbing. So those are the routers down at the bottom, and the firebox. They're all connected here by the blue cables. So you can see that it's something you're able to easily see that it's something different than normally what we're gonna be using. But the network that is live, that is active, we have these cables over here. All of them are labeled. You can see printer, iMac, LG computer, switch 3, switch 2, modem. I did not add a switch 1 in here. And the reason being is because I intend to be putting a switch here in this position. And so I just put a plate here, just kind of making it look good, saving the spot for it. And then once I put a switch here, then I'll call that switch 1. So in my documentation, you won't see a switch 1 yet, but it is reserved for the future. Now, the way that I created this is I wanted to have enough cabling in the back for a service loop in order for me to pull this all the way out. The only thing that's getting tight right now for me completely pulling this out is going to be the power cable. So what I am going to do is I'm going to shut down the UDM Pro Max. And while that's shutting down, I'll just tell you a little bit more about the back. My surge protector, all the devices are plugged in here. And then I have a switch for each of the devices. So I can have them all off right now except for my router. And then I'll be turning that off here. But I do like having a switch for each of the items that are plugged in. There is a secondary surge protector too that I put in the back. I thought I might need it just for other hosts or computers that I might be adding during labbing. I have not used it once, hasn't been necessary. All right, we're going to turn the UDM Pro off. We're going to unplug this cable going to the surge protector. Now, because of the length of the service loop, I'm able to pull this whole thing out. All my cables are still attached. And you can see I can easily walk behind here. These are marks on the floor. They're actually not dirt. I tried to clean it up for you guys, but those are permanent. So I'm able to walk back here. If I need to get behind my monitors to do anything, I can easily do that. Here is my modem right here. I own the modem instead of renting it from my ISP. On the back here, you can see that everything is connected through keystones. So we have all the termination that is completed. This is the white one. That's going to the IDF, and so the intermediate distribution frame. And it is Cat 6A cable. So it allows me to have higher data speeds than just what Cat 6 is able to provide. And so that's what behind looks like, how cables are. I do like having the patch panel on the top, because that allows me for easy access up here. If I have, because it doesn't make a lot of sense to have the Pro Max on the top, have the patch panel here, and then have this switch here. And there are many builds that have that. With me right now, kind of doing consistent configurations or updates, I just like having the patch panel up here. It's super easy to access, make any adjustments. All right, moving over here to the left side of my desk. You will see a cable here. Again, my network, everything is hardwired other than the mobile devices. So we have right here, this is iMac at my wife's desk. This is my laptop connected via Ethernet. And then over here, what I wanted to show you is switch 3. So here I have a Netgear switch. I put this here. This is internet connected to the UDM Pro Max, and then this is just a spare Ethernet cable that I have here at my desk. For example, here is my work laptop, and I'm able to work from home, which I don't do a lot, but when I do, I come here, I drop my laptop on the desk, and then I can just pull this cable, plug it right into my laptop, and then I'm connected to the guest network. I'm not connected to my trusted network, but my work laptop is segmented into a different virtual network. So I have my main network, I have my guest network, I have my IoT network, and then I also have a VoIP network as well. And you'll see here that I have it labeled. I have guest here, so all of these ports here are on the guest network, and then all these 4 are going to be on the main network, mainly just these 3 because this is a trunking port here. That is connected to the UDM Pro Max. But what's also great about this is sometimes I want to upload or download things on my phone, whether it's Apple Photos or those things, and I can plug my iPhone directly into an Ethernet port right here. I just grab an extra cable, or I can just even use this one, and then I can put it into my main virtual network, and then I have faster Ethernet speeds than I would just based off of the Wi-Fi. So I absolutely love having this. It's very handy. Another thing too, you'll see that this one is a PoE port. So in here in my office, it is the only PoE port that I have. So if there is a device I'm doing some configuration on that I want to have sitting on my desk, I can easily just plug it into that port, and then I'm able to do the configuration on that device. So that's what we have. The MDF main distribution frame, and then we have switch 3 over here. And as I was saying earlier, switch 1 is going to be here on this piece, and then right now we're going to go take a look at switch number 2. Here we are at the IDF, intermediate distribution frame. So here we have the network switch number 2. This is the Pro Max 16 port from Ubiquiti, and it's a beast. It is more than what I need here at my entertainment center. So here we have PlayStation 5 here in the bottom, Xbox, and then we have Apple TV behind here. And then our other devices is Arlo Wi-Fi cameras. Gross. Yeah, here I am talking about Ethernet, and then I have Wi-Fi cameras, but that will be addressed in the future, and getting IP cameras, Ethernet connected, PoE, the good stuff. Then the U6 Plus access point that I have here. I have this access point here inside. The place that we're at, this is sufficient as far as for the Wi-Fi connection that we need. I'm mostly on Ethernet anyways, so we just have the U6 Plus here. You'll see here on the Ethernet ports, over here, these are 4 ports that allow for 2.5 gigabit speeds. Over here, we have 2 ports that allow for 10 gigabit speeds. So there is certainly the option for upgrading my network when I want to have higher speeds. The coloring that you'll see here, the white means 1 gigabit Ethernet speed, and then the yellow is fast Ethernet. So the yellow is a lot slower. The ones that are yellow is this one is the Arlo cameras, so it's only running off of fast Ethernet. No wonder I can't get faster speeds on the Wi-Fi cameras because it's fast Ethernet. You know, so again, reason to upgrade my cameras. And then this one is the TV, the Vizio TV that's connected in Apple TV, Xbox, and then this is the PS5. You might be wondering, like, that doesn't make any sense that the PS5 has only fast Ethernet speeds, but you'll see that the reason it is, it's in sleep mode right now. So it's just sleeping, and it has reduced its internet intake just to fast Ethernet. But the moment that I turn it on, you'll see that the color will go to white, and then we'll be at 1 gigabit Ethernet speeds. I have here, this is the access point plugged in, so that's the only port that has PoE going through it. And the reason that it's not in the 2.5 gigabit Ethernet port is because the U6 Plus does not support those speeds. So there's no reason for me to plug that port into 2.5 gigabit speed port when it doesn't even allow for that. So the main thing that I wanted to do is just build a network that has a backbone that can allow for growth, for expansion, and I think you can see the infrastructure that I have has been set to, I can do anything I want right now. There's nothing limited me with the UDM Pro Max, and then obviously with the 16 port Pro Max as well. So any other upgrades that I would like to do to this section would be to add a patch panel. That would make it look a lot nicer. But right now I just have it looking neat and clean, and then also I just have enough space to not make it seem too cluttered. So again, this is switch number 2, the IDF.
So we're moving now on to documentation. You'll see here this is an Excel document. I have about 5 tabs open here on the bottom for different aspects of my network. My network isn't a very large network, so you'll see here that this documentation is clear. It's very good, and with a smaller network, you can more easily figure out things, even if you don't have the best of documentation, especially if it's in a small area. But this documentation is very useful for larger networks where you have many distribution frames. You're trying to figure out which cable is running to which room. So this is a very effective way to do it. But I did it here for just my small network as an example for what is and should be done for larger networks. Here I have source information, destination information. I have a photo of the patch panel, and then also UDM Pro Max here. So wherever there's switches, I have photos here to see exactly what was set up, and then also exactly what was documented. Anything that's not connected is marked as vacant. Here at this is my entertainment center, everything's marked as vacant, and then specifically what is plugged into those. This also can be referred to on the user interface for a Ubiquiti if I log into the UDM Pro Max. So this information can be found there as well. Switch name, model number, serial MAC address I blocked out, IP address, purchase date, in-service date, warranty date, firmware version. Go here to the next one. This is a patch map. So this is numbered. Over here on the left, you have the length of the cable. You have the test status of these cables, cable type, and then what they're connected to. And then also here is a photo of the full patch panel. Obviously it's not completely filled in, but it does show the current status of what the patch panel is at the time of this documentation. Moving over to VLANs, VLAN number 1510, 20, 30, and 100 for default main guest, IoT, VoIP, and surveillance. Subnets, subnet mask, usable IP ranges. I do have static IPs in place, and also I have a cluster of 10 IP addresses that I do reserve specifically. So there is a set of IP addresses reserved for servers, a set of IP addresses reserved for printers, and virtual computers and those things. So that is all segmented. I don't have that specifically in this documentation. That'd be one thing to add, but I do have a purpose on the endpoints that I do have set up. These are the gateways, and then notes as well, and then inventory. So these are all the devices, so I can easily pull up information here if I'm ever curious, maybe the history or when it was used, last used, or what is in inventory. So again, this is the finishing of the documentation here for my home network. This documentation helps for me here, but also this documentation, when expanded to a large network, is very effective. All right, here we go. All in the middle of the project. So here we have our hidden, now exposed, ISP Internet coaxial. So this big guy right here, that's been filled with bookshelves right there, went all the way around, all the way down here, and then pops over to the living room. So now we need to terminate this. It's in the router. Just did a test. We're up and running just like normal with the Wi-Fi, but we want to have the Wi-Fi over there in the TV. So modem is going to be here, and we just need, and then I have plenty of coaxial cable here, of course, as well. And I left plenty just in case I want to move the modem on the other side of the desk. So we'll just roll that up. But here we have, we see what the installer did. So he put this on here. So this looks really nice. Like once it's in, it looks very clean. It looks great. For the most part, both sides are hidden pretty well. So I might have to do some jerry-rig stuff, but I'm supposed to do laundry today. But this is more important. Got the tools, a vacuum. This is my Cat 6A cable that we need to install in the TV. So we're in the thick of it. Organize this stuff. But then we need to, this is the coaxial cable, so we'll roll this up, and then we'll be putting in the Cat 6A cable here and installing that. So plenty of work. We are doing some termination. I have a mess, as you can see, of course. So this is my rack. I am setting it up with the cables long enough and even so that I can pull the rack out about this far to fix that. So I got plenty of the tools and stuff here to set this stuff up. But yeah, I'm just terminating the hosts.
things are exploded again and putting things back together.